Hi, hello. I have a story. It's my story, but it's about your butt, or our butts, or everyone's butts. We're not talking about enough butt stuff. If you don't want to listen to the whole thing, the moral of the story is if you are over 30, get a colonoscopy. And if your doctor tries to tell you that you don't need one until you're 45, tell them to shut up and fuck off. Here's why. As some of you know, I recently got a colonoscopy. For several reasons. One, my grandfather died of colon cancer at 45. Two, for reasons you may guess, I've been more concerned with cancer lately. And number three, the number of people in the US between the ages of 30 and 40 getting colon cancer is increasing significantly. And getting a colonoscopy is one of the easiest ways to detect it and prevent it. Now, when I asked my doctor for a referral for a colonoscopy, she told me no. But my grandfather died of colon cancer, I told her. She said she still felt like it wasn't necessary until I was 45. She finally agreed to write me the referral since I had just told her about the devastating journey I had just been on losing someone to cancer. Let's pause in the story for just a second and talk about this. So we are supposed to be proactive about our health, right? Eat healthy, exercise, go to your annual physical, all of this, right? But when you ask for a preventative care scan, such as a colonoscopy, you're told no, or at least given a hard time about it. Here's another example of this. So during that same visit, I asked my doctor about a breast exam and a pap smear. We don't do breast exams anymore, she told me. What? Yeah, we figure you should be doing them regularly. You know your breasts better than we do. And you know doctoring better than I do. And the pap smear thing is another joke, okay? Because now the recommended time to get one is every 5 years. I remember asking a former gynecologist that I had if she agreed with that, and she said, if it was my daughter, I'd tell her to go every year. Now just sit with that for a second. We're recommending our patients to go every 5 years, but if it was their family member, they would tell them to go every year. Now, I'm sure all of this has to do with money and insurance companies not wanting to pay for these procedures, which is a whole other conversation about how our healthcare system is an industry and only cares about making money, not about actually caring for people. But that is a whole different conversation about how our healthcare system sucks. Health careless system, health non-care system, health doesn't give a fuck about you system. We can workshop the names later. Anyway, back to the story about butts. I go in for my colonoscopy, and I know you might be deterred by the whole process. I was a little apprehensive myself because I was expecting that gallon of shit that you have to drink to be disgusting. It wasn't actually that bad. It tasted kind of like a lemon Propel, like a Powerade drink. I would 1,000,000% rather drink that than apple cider vinegar. The shitting every 10 minutes for 24 hours was not ideal, but it wasn't the worst experience I've ever had. The worst experience I've ever had, well, I'm sure you can probably guess what that was. It also had to do with cancer. Anyway, I get to my appointment, I get in the hospital gown, they put the IV in my arm, and I am getting wheeled into the room where they do the procedure. And the doctor says to me, so you don't have cancer in your family? And I said, well, my grandfather died of colon cancer. And he said, but not in your immediate family. Again, my mother's father died of colon cancer, but not like your parents or your children, so you're not high risk. Well, again, my grandfather died of colon cancer, and my husband just died of cancer, and I'm aware of the rise in colon cancer among young people, so I guess I'm just trying to be careful. After that, he kind of shifted his tone a little bit and said, I'm so sorry for your loss. How are you doing? I've been better. Making it through the day, scared of cancer. Why was this guy trying to talk me out of getting a colonoscopy? Like, I'm already there, the IV's in my arm, I'm getting wheeled into the room. I already drank the shit that makes you shit all of your fucking shit out. What's his MO here? We're at the point of no return. So then they give me the twilight sleep. And what a treat. Okay, seriously, A+. I would go back for a colonoscopy next week if I got to have twilight sleep again. I'm not even kidding. That stuff was amazing. When I went home later, I felt, dare I say, giddy, which I have not felt in months. They stuck a camera inside of me. I didn't feel anything. I watched my colon on a screen, went in and looked around. I heard them say, remove that. And then I don't remember much else. I was wheeled back to the waiting area, slept for 15 minutes, and then they let me go. Just kidding. They released me to a friend who had come to pick me up because I was not okay to drive. So overall, the colonoscopy experience itself was almost enjoyable. So they removed some polyps, which is very common. It's just clusters of cells. They remove them and they send them off for a biopsy. A few days later, my results come back, and while my polyps were not cancerous, they are a type that are at a risk to eventually become cancerous. So what does that mean? It means that I have to go back for a follow-up in 3 years just as a precaution. Now, in 3 years, is my follow-up still under the age of 45, the recommended age to get your first colonoscopy? Side note here, I know someone else who went in for a colonoscopy at 40 and they found several precancerous polyps. So what does that mean? Well, that means that had she waited until 45 to get her first colonoscopy, those polyps probably would have turned into cancer before then. All of this is infuriating to me because, one, why was it so hard to get a referral just to get this colonoscopy? And number two, why were people trying to deter me from doing it when then they found something which, sure, it's not cancerous, but it could eventually be cancerous? I've had a lot of experiences recently that have really opened my eyes to how fucked up our healthcare system is. I mean, I knew it was fucked up before, but I'm having some eye-opening experiences to things that are more fucked up than I knew. So if you haven't already gathered the morals of this story, number one, get a colonoscopy. They're fun. Number two, advocate for yourself. Seriously, this is a must. Lie if you have to. Say you have colon cancer in your family, even if you don't. If that's the only way to get a colonoscopy, so be it. Number three, insist that you get your breast exams, your pap smears, go to the dermatologist, get checked for skin cancer, wear sunscreen, or don't. Obviously, it's your body, your choice. Do what you want with this information. I just felt like it was sort of my responsibility to share it. Just take care of yourself and get a colonoscopy. I will die on this hill. Or I won't. Maybe colon cancer will kill me after all. You know what? At least I will know that I did the best that I could to prevent it. Oh, hi, baby. Do you want to be in the video too? Do you want to tell them? Tell them. Tell them. Tell them. Tell them. Get a colonoscopy. Get a colonoscopy.